coming home, I'm coming home. Tell the world that I'm coming home. Such are the lyrics of a song by Skylar Grey, which represents one of the main messages we are taught as we grow up. That home is not a geographical place, but a symbol of security, stability, and safety. The message as we grow up is clear. Grow up, get a job, get a house. And in a populated city such as Hong Kong, a home assures us that among 7 million other people, there is a place of our own. Except in 2014, the mean wage of an average household was $270,000. And the mean price of a house was $4 million, 15 times that amount. Given the expensive price of living, it is unlikely that today's youth will ever have the opportunity to provide their own house in the private sector. This is not what our childhood lessons taught us. What if our job cannot provide for a house? Well, Hong Kong is a city that plans. We have one of the highest proportions of tutoring centers in the world. Insurance is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And so it is understandable that students plan for their future by applying for public housing once they turn 18, because it is viewed as the only option they will ever have of owning a house. Moreover, given that students who live independently are more likely to receive economic independence faster, it is fair for them to try to alleviate the financial burden they place on their families. What is not understandable is the political structures that facilitate these housing problems. Hong Kong has no capital gains tax, which allows the elite to expand on their wealth and inflate the prices of property beyond the affordability of regular citizens. And given that property is such a huge industry in Hong Kong, it ensures that the fate of our economy lies in the hands of a few. This problem is only exacerbated by the fact that unlike other regions with income inequality, Hong Kong has no political lobbies to fight for the rights of regular people. So the voice that rings the loudest in our country, in our city, is that of business tycoons and not ours. At the end of the day, the trend of these individuals moving towards public housing is symptomatic of a problem of wealth inequality that we must solve through capital taxes and limits on the amount of houses an individual can buy. We must give every individual the privilege of owning a house. And we must advocate for a type of equality that allows every single Hong Kong citizen to say, "I'm coming home." Thank you.
Thank you for your speech. Mr. Hodgman will now ask you a question relating to your speech. The bell will ring right after the question has been asked, and you will have 1 minute to respond. Mr. Hodgman, please.
Do you think Hong Kong's country parks should be given over for housing development? If not, what might be the alternative?
Right. I don't think Hong Kong's country parks should be given away for residential development because I do think that there are places in Hong Kong that can be used for residential space. In fact, a recent survey conducted by the Hong Kong government showed that only 24% of Hong Kong's land is currently in use. What we need is the political capital and political imperative to develop these places of land for regular people, although it may not be profitable for the government. I think also on a second layer, we must impose limits on the amount of property that people who are wealthy can buy, to ensure that these spaces can actually be used by individuals. Because although 1, 2, 3 houses may be a valuable asset for some individuals, even one house is a necessity for others. So at the end of the day, I think it's smart governing and political capital that is needed to solve the problem.
Thank you. A second question will now be asked by Mrs. Snow. Again, the bell will ring right after the question, and you will have a minute to respond. Mrs. Snow, please.
There has been an incredible amount of attention given the past few days over the color of a dress on the internet. Why do you think some things go viral over other things that maybe have a little bit more importance to the greater good of people?
Right. I think things that go viral have a common element in that it is able to reach out to every single individual, regardless of culture. The recent dress that went viral was actually interesting because it highlighted one of the basic facets of human society, right? That we interpret things in different ways. Is the color red that you see the same as the color red I see? Although it may overshadow more nuanced issues that perhaps are more important, that element of relatability and the element of the ability of people to understand it is missing. And so I think at the end of the day, when things go viral, it humanizes all of us and shows us that there are certain things that we all have in common. So although it may overshadow certain issues, I think things going viral is actually a good for society because it unites us as a whole.